Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Info Girl, and on this channel we talk about credit cards, personal loans, business credit, work from home opportunities, and credit repair. My goal is to help you understand your options so you can make smarter financial decisions. If that sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell because I post new videos every single week. Now, today's video is going to be a little different. Every time you search YouTube for credit cards, you'll usually hear the same names over and over again. Capital One, Discover It, Mission Lane, the Apple Card. But what if you've already been denied for those cards? Or maybe you're simply looking for other options that don't get talked about often. Well, today I'm going to show you four hidden credit cards that almost nobody talks about. We'll talk about the Fortiva MasterCard, the Revvi MasterCard, the Destiny MasterCard, and the Fit Platinum MasterCard. I'm going to break down each card one by one. We'll talk about who it's designed for, the typical credit profile it targets, the starting limits, the fees, the APRs, whether it reports to the major credit bureaus, and whether I think it's actually worth considering. And make sure that you stay until the end because I'm going to rank all four cards from the one I like the least to the one I personally would choose if I was rebuilding credit today. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. Come on. Let's start with the Fortiva MasterCard. Now, this is one of those cards that doesn't get nearly as much attention as some of the bigger names, but a lot of people receive pleasant offers for it in the mail. If you've ever opened up your mailbox and seen a Fortiva offer, you're definitely not alone. So let's talk about what this card actually is. The Fortiva MasterCard is designed primarily for people who are trying to rebuild their personal credit or who have less than a perfect credit score. It's not a premium travel card. It's not a luxury rewards card. It's meant to help people who may not qualify for a card designed for excellent credit. Fortiva does not publish an official minimum credit score requirement. So if you hear someone online say you need exactly a 580 or you need exactly a 620, that's not something Fortiva officially states. Instead, the card is generally marked towards people with fair credit, poor credit, or people rebuilding their credit. The lenders look at much more than just your credit score. They may also consider your income, your existing debt, your payment history, your recent credit activity, and also your ability to repay. That's why two people with the same exact credit score can receive completely different decisions. So the starting limit, let's talk about it. Fortivia has advertised a starting limits up to $1,000 for some approved applicants. That does not mean everybody will get $1,000. Now, some people may receive a much lower starter limit based on their individual credit profile. And just because someone online says they received a certain amount does not mean you will receive that same exact offer as they did. Your income, debt, and overall financial situation all plays a role. One thing I like about the Fortiva MasterCard is that they report account activity to the three major credit bureaus. That means if you make your payments on time and use the card responsibly, those positive payments will then reflect on your credit profile. Remember though, the opposite is true as well. Late payments can also be reported. So this isn't a card you want to ignore after you are approved. Now let's talk about the downside. Depending on your offer you received, Fortivia may charge an annual fee, and some offers may also include additional monthly maintenance fees after the first year. That's why I always tell people never apply for a credit card without reading your specific offer. Not everyone receives the same exact terms. Another thing to pay attention to is the APR. Like many credit cards designed for rebuilding credit, Fortivia's purchase APR can be very, very high. That means if you carry a balance from month to month, borrowing can become very expensive. This is why I always recommend paying your statement balance in full whenever you can. The goal of a rebuilding card should be to build positive payment history, not just to carry debt if you can avoid it. Now, here's what I like about the Fortivia MasterCard. They do report to all three major credit bureaus. There is no security deposit required for many offers. MasterCard acceptance at millions of locations designed for people rebuilding credit. Now, the downside that I do not like about Fortiva is the annual fees may be high. Annual fees may apply. Some offers include monthly maintenance fees after the first year, a higher APR than many traditional reward cards. The starter limits may be lower than what some applicants hope for, in my opinion. So, if I had fair credit and was having trouble getting approved elsewhere, I would compare the Fortiva MasterCard with several other rebuilding cards before making a final decision. I wouldn't apply just because I received a meal offered. I'll compare the fees, the credit limit, and the long term costs. Remember, the easiest card to get approved for isn't always the best card to keep in the long term. Another thing I would also like to point out with the Fortiva MasterCard is that you can earn 3% cash back on reward on gas, groceries, purchases, and your utility bill and payments, plus 1% cashback rewards on all other purchases. They also offer zero fraud liability, card control futures, free credit score plus credit building reporting, anytime account access, and convenient mobile app. So they do have a lot of good things about this card. And also another thing that stands out to me about the Fortivia is that you can pre-qualified. Okay, so that is also a really good option, especially if you are trying to rebuild your credit. So you want to make sure that you can pre-qualify before you actually take a hard inquiry on your credit report. Now, as you guys can see, it could take less than 5 seconds to find out if or not you have been approved. All right, so let's move on to card number 2. Now, this is one that I honestly don't hear many people talking about on YouTube. We're talking about the Revvi card. Now, if you've been rebuilding your credit, you've probably searched online for credit cards that don't require perfect credit. That's usually when the Revvi card starts showing up. But is it actually worth it? The Revvi card is an unsecured MasterCard that's designed for people who are trying to establish or rebuild their credit. Now, let me explain what unsecured means. An unsecured credit card means you don't have to put down a security deposit to open the account. That's different from a secured credit card where you might have to put down $200 or $300 before you can even start using the card. So for some people, that's already a big advantage. Now, this is probably one of the questions I get. Now, if you're wondering what credit score do you need, just like the Fortiva, Revvi does not publish an official minimum credit score requirement. So be careful when people online say you need exactly a 550 or you would definitely get approved with a 600 credit score. Those aren't official requirements. The card is generally marked towards people with poor, fair, or rebuilding credit, but the issuer elevates your overall application, not just one number. That means they may consider your payment history, your income, your existing debt, your recent credit activity, and your ability to repay. Remember, a credit score is important, but it isn't everything. Starting limits for Revvi. Now let's talk about the credit limit. The Revvi card commonly advertised starting limits up to $300 for many approved applicants. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking $300 isn't very much, and you are completely right. Compared to premium rewards cards, it isn't. But remember, this card isn't trying to compete with travel cards or premium cashback reward cards. It's designed to help people who may not qualify for those cards right now. Sometimes the goal isn't getting the biggest limit. Sometimes the goal is rebuilding your credit so you can qualify for better cards later. Some card holders report receiving limits increases over time, but there isn't a published guarantee that everyone will receive one. If you're hoping for an increase, the biggest things you can do are make every payment on time, keep your balances low, avoid maxing out your card, use the account responsibly over time. That's the type of activity lenders generally like to see. One of the biggest reasons people choose rebuilding cards like Revvi is because the issuer reports your payment history to the 3 major credit bureaus. That's important because your payment history is one of the biggest factors in your credit profile. So if you make every payment on time, you're giving yourself the opportunity to build positive credit history. But remember, late payments can also be reported. So don't think I'll just skip this month's payment. That can hurt the progress you're trying to make. Now let's talk about the downside. Like several cards designed for rebuilding credit, the Revvi card may charge an annual fee dependent on your offer. Some offers also include additional account fees. That's why I always tell people don't look at the approval, look at the total cost of having that card. A card with a lower limit and higher fees may not be your best option if you qualify for something with lower costs. Another thing you need to pay attention to is the AP. The Revvi card has a high purchase AP compared with many other mainstream reward cards. So this is not the type of card you want to carry a balance on if you can avoid it. So if I would to get this card, use it for one small purchase every single month, maybe gas, maybe Netflix, maybe your phone bill, then pay the balance in full before the due date. That way, you're building payment history without paying unnecessary interest. Now, here's what I like about this card. To be honest, there is no security deposit required. They do report to three major credit bureaus. It's designed for people rebuilding credit. So you can qualify if you do have a lower credit profile. MasterCard is accepted almost everywhere. Online account maintenance, Spanish out. The downside about this that I do not like about Revvi is the lower starting credit limit. The annual fees may apply, the high APRs, additional fees may apply dependent on your account term. In my opinion, if I were rebuilding my credit today, I wouldn't automatically apply for Revvi. I'll compare it with other cards on today's list because here's the truth. Sometimes paying a small annual fee is worth it if the card helps you rebuild your credit responsibly. Other times, another card may give you better long-term value. The goal isn't just about getting approved. The goal is getting approved for the right card when it comes to rebuilding your credit. All right, now everybody, now we're moving on to card number 3. This one has actually been around for a while. And if you've been searching for credit cards for bad credit, you've probably seen it online or popped up. We're talking about the Destiny MasterCard. Now, one thing I like about today's video is that every card is a little bit different. Fortiva has one approach, Revvi has another. Now let's see what Destiny brings to the table. The Destiny MasterCard is an unsecured card that's designed for people with less than perfect credit. Once again, no security deposit. And I know that's something a lot of people are looking for because not everyone has $200 or $300 sitting around to open up a secured credit card account. That's one reason the Destiny card gets so much attention. Destiny does not publish a minimum credit score requirement. So if someone online tells you you need a 580 or maybe a 620, that simply could not be true. Not an official requirement from Destiny's website. Now, generally speaking, the card is marketed towards people with a lower credit score, poor credit, fair credit, limited credit history, people who are rebuilding after past credit problems. The lender reviews much more than just your score. They're also looking at things like your income, your debt, your payment history, your recent credit activity, and also your ability to repay. That is going to be our main focus is your ability to repay. So remember, credit scores do matter, but it isn't the only thing that matters. So can you pre-qualify? One thing I actually like about Destiny, the company offers a pre-qualification tool. That means eligible applicants can check whether they have an offer available before submitting a full application. Now here's something I want everybody to understand. Pre-qualification does not guarantee final approval. It simply means based on the information available right now, you appear to meet certain requirements. The lender can still verify your information before opening the account. The Destiny MasterCard commonly advertised starting credit limits up to $700 for approved applicants. Now, does everybody get $700? Absolutely not. Some people receive a lower limit. Others may receive the full amount offered. It all depends on the individual financial profile. So don't compare your approval to someone else's. Unlike some other credit cards, automatic credit limit increases are not a major selling point for Destiny. That means if your goal is getting frequent limit increases, there may be other cards worth comparing. The account reports to all three major credit bureaus. That means if you pay on time every single month, you're building positive payment history. That's exactly what people rebuilding their credit need. Remember, the goal isn't just getting approved, the goal is improving your credit profile over time. Now, depending on your offer, the Destiny MasterCard may charge an annual fee. So before accepting, read the disclosure carefully, know exactly what you'll be paying for. The Destiny MasterCard also has a very, and I mean very high purchase AP compared to many mainstream reward cards. So here's my advice. Don't use this card to finance large purchases. Use it as a credit building tool. Buy something small, pay it off, repeat. That's how you get the benefit without paying unnecessary interest. Here's what I like about Destiny. There is no security deposit required, pre-qualification available for many applicants. They do report to all three major credit bureaus, master acceptance, designed for rebuilding credit. Now, the downside about this credit card is the annual fee may apply. They do have a very high APR. Credit limit increases aren't a major factor here, not a rewards card. Here's what I honestly think. Out of the first three cards that we've talked about, the Destiny MasterCard is one I would compare carefully because the pre-qualification feature can be helpful. But I wouldn't choose it just because I got a meal offered. I'll compare it. The fees, the starting limit, the long term value, whether another rebuilding card gives me more flexibility. Because remember, getting approved is only one step. Getting the card affordable is what really matters. All right, everybody, we've made it to the fourth and final card on today's list. And honestly, this might be the one that surprises most of you. We're going to be talking about the Fit Platinum MasterCard. If you've been searching for unsecured credit cards for bad credit, chances are you've seen this card pop up online. Just because a card is easy to find doesn't automatically mean it's the best choice. The Fit Platinum MasterCard is a credit card designed for people who are trying to establish or rebuild their credit. In the world, unsecured is important. That means you don't have to put down a security deposit to open the account if you're approved. For a lot of people rebuilding credit, that's a big deal because not everyone has hundreds of dollars available for a secured card. The Fit Platinum MasterCard does not publish a minimum credit score requirement. However, the card is marked towards people with poor credit, fair credit, bad credit, or limited credit history, people rebuilding after financial setbacks. So if somebody tells you you need exactly a 580 or you need a 600, you'll be approved. That's not an official requirement on Fit MasterCard website. The lender looks at your entire application. That includes your income, your current debt, your payment history, your overall credit profile, and your ability to repay. Your credit score is only one part of the approval process. The Fit Platinum MasterCard currently advertised an initial credit limit of $400 for approved applicants. Now, is everybody going to receive that $400? Probably not. Unlike some mainstream credit cards, the Fit credit card isn't known for offering large credit limits right away. This isn't the card you're getting because you want a $10,000 limit. You're getting it because you're trying to rebuild your credit profile. The Fit Platinum MasterCard reports your payment history to all three major credit bureaus every single month. That's exactly what you want when you're rebuilding your credit. Because every on-time payment helps build positive payment history. And also every late payment can hurt your credit as well. So if you are approved, treat the card like one of your most important bills. The Fit Platinum MasterCard charges an annual fee, and many approved applicants also pay a $95 processing fee before activating the account. Current public offers commonly show a $99 annual fee for the first year and $125 annually after that, though terms can vary based on your offer. That's why I always tell people, don't get excited just because you were approved. Read the agreement, know exactly what you're going to be paying. Sometimes the cost of keeping a rebuilding card can be higher than people expect. The Fit Platinum MasterCard currently has a 35.90% fixed purchase APR on many public offers, and that is extremely high. So here's my advice. Don't use this card to finance furniture. Don't use it for vacation. Don't use it to buy things you can't afford. Instead, use it for something small, maybe your Netflix subscription, maybe your gas, maybe your phone bill, and then pay it off in full every single month. That's how you build credit without paying unnecessary interest. Now, here's what I like about the Fit MasterCard. There is no security deposit required. They do report to all three major credit bureaus. Master acceptance is worldwide, designed for people who are rebuilding credit, and you can't get approved if you have a lower credit score. Easy online account management. Now, here's what I don't like about this card. It has a very high APR, the annual fee, the processing fee on many offers, a lower starting credit limit than many mainstream cards. In my opinion, if I had absolutely no other options, I'll compare the Fit Platinum MasterCard with other cards we've discussed today. Would it help me rebuild my credit? Yes. If you make every payment on time. Would it be my first choice if I qualified for a lower cost card? Probably not, because rebuilding your credit is important. But keeping your costs down is important too. You've waited into the end. So here's my ranking. Number 4, Revvi card. Main reason, lower starting credit limit and multiple potential fees. 3, Fit Platinum MasterCard. Reports to all three credit bureaus, but the fees and high APR moved it lower on my list. Number 2, Fortiva MasterCard. Potentially higher starting limits than some of the others, but you still need to pay close attention to the fees. My number 1 pick, if I had to choose one, I'll probably choose the Destiny MasterCard, mainly because of the pre-qualification feature and because it gives many applicants a chance to check for an offer before submitting a full application. Now, that does not mean it's the best card for everyone. It just simply means it's one I'll compare first out of today's list. Here's what I want you all to remember. Getting approved isn't the goal. Building your credit is. The right card is the one you can actually afford to keep. Make your payments on time. Keep your balances low. Read every disclosure before you accept an offer. And don't apply for a card just because someone else on YouTube got approved. Your financial situation is different. Choose the card that makes more sense for you. All right, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button because it really helps my channel to grow. If you're new here, subscribe because I post videos every single week. Credit cards, business credit, personal loans, credit repair, and work from home jobs. Now I have a question for you all. Which of these 4 cards would you actually apply for? Or have you already had one of them? Tell me below in the comment. What was your starting limit? If you're comfortable sharing. Would you recommend this card for anyone else? Your experiences might help someone else who's trying to rebuild their credit. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.